What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Loop Gaming, the show where we talk about gaming news. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And we are in our last week of this month, so make sure to play The Surge and Conan Exiles, both offer for free on PlayStation Plus. Make sure to download those, play those, come back next weekend, and we're going to talk about that on Plus Club. Let us know your experiences with those games. We'll let you know ours, and our game of the month is Civilization 6. Make sure to play that, or if you've played them in the past, come back this weekend for Game of the Month. We're going to talk about our experience with that game as well. We have a Discord link down below. Talk to us anytime, all the time. If you got something you want us to talk about, it's one of the best places you can send us links, hopefully links to news that we might talk about on the show. Also, comments below is a great place to do that as well. We are also on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms if you'd prefer to listen to us. Save some data, or listen to us in the car when you're driving around. We do a lot of long form discussions, so it would probably be easier to do it that way. But we film every episode if you're listening to this, so go to YouTube, check out Tasty Loop Gaming. Tasty Tuesday. So not a whole lot of news, but a couple things I want to talk about. First and foremost, first bit of news is kind of more so to let you guys know this is happening now because we're running out of time on it. Because of the tragedy that happened with the Notre Dame Cathedral in France, which is an awful thing, Ubisoft is giving away Assassin's Creed Unity for free until April 25th. So today you can still get it, but on the 25th, they will not be doing this anymore. And you can get that on Uplay on PC. So completely free. And the reason they're doing this is they're already donating a bunch of money towards the reconstruction of Notre Dame, which is amazing of them to do. But they also, because now the almost 900-year-old cathedral is damaged and will never be the exact same it was, which is horrible. I'm a huge history guy, so I hate that even happened. This is, for them, they said this is like the second best thing they can offer you is they've remodeled it from the actual building into Unity. So this is kind of like a way for everyone to be able to experience the cathedral. Also worth noting as well, after announcing that they are donating towards the cathedral and releasing this for free, they got positively review bombed on Steam. A bunch of upvotes on Steam happened from hundreds of people. So what do we think about Ubisoft's gesture towards Notre Dame and them helping with the reconstruction?
I mean, is there really a point where we could say there's anything bad about this? Mm-mm. So, I mean, really, it's cool that they're doing it. Obviously, it's a little more close to home for them than it is for us.
Oh, yeah.
So it makes a lot of sense. And Ubisoft is even though it's a big company, they're pretty outstanding when it comes to being involved with community stuff. Yeah. So really appreciate the not just the real life stuff, gesture of the donations, but even just like they kind of said, when they make the Assassin's Creed games, they put a lot of attention into like historical accuracy and stuff like that when they do that. And so being able to do this, it is an opportunity for people to see the original construction of the building. So
the amount of detail they put into Unity, that was one of the first Assassin's Creeds I really noticed how much they gave a fuck about historical accuracy. When I played Unity, because you played it back when it came out, mm-hmm. I was blown away that I was experiencing Paris from that time period, because there's no way I'd be able to experience that otherwise. You can watch a movie that's like trying to replicate that, but I'm sitting there walking the streets of Paris, looking at Notre Dame, all the other sites, and just looking at all the buildings and stuff, and it's really kind of amazing. So it is a great way to allow people to experience specifically that. It's kind of amazing they're giving away the whole game just for that. I mean, like it's a really cool gesture that they'd even do that.
It is sure. I mean, we could be kind of cynic about it as well with like, oh well, it's an old game, so they can afford to do it, blah blah blah. I mean, that's not the point.
They don't gotta give shit away though.
They don't have to do shit. No,
they could just go, we're fucking giving money for the reconstruction, and Vive la France, fucking, we support everyone who's affected by this and shit, but it's more so for them a way to like spread love and shit with everyone, which sounds kind of weird, but it's a communal thing. It's kind of cool because this really does affect a lot of people.
For sure.
So yeah, that's out till the 25th for free. I will be downloading it because I believe I owned it. We owned it on PS4
Originally, yeah.
Yeah. And I actually did like it. It had a lot of fucking problems when it first came out.
Specifically
Networking, but also that was the one that was like notorious for like the heads not being there, but the eyes and the teeth and shit. I never experienced that, but I saw those fucking pictures and they're horrifying. But hopefully it's fixed by now. And yeah, because I thought, I mean, it was multiplayer centric and it had a shitload of weapons and customization. It was a really like an online Assassin's Creed, and I thought it was a really cool idea. Just, you know, that was towards the time where they were starting to make Assassin's Creed every year and people were starting to get sick of them. So, but very cool, very awesome. Just wanted to let you guys know that you can download that though, and why you can download it. Yeah. So second bit of news needs a little bit of build up to it, but we are going to be watching Inside Xbox, Phil Spencer on E3 2019 and latest Xbox news. Phil Spencer will be talking about their presence at E3 and not essentially having their rival Sony being there with them. But before we get into that, I've alluded to it a couple times already on the channel. I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about it in the Discord, but just so there's a confirmation, I will be going to E3 this year with Cody. So I wanted to kind of, you know, that's not just me going like, oh, it's awesome, I'm going. But, you know, for the channel, I have a lot of plans and I kind of wanted to put them out there and perhaps get input from you guys. So loosely planned, me and Cody are going to go to E3. For the 3 days. We don't have press badges, so we won't be sitting in on the big announcements, which sucks, but we'll be watching those like the rest of you guys. But we will be on the floor playing the games. That's something I'm very excited about because there will most likely be games on the floor that are not out yet. So what I want to try and do is every day I want to do small little vlogs of before and after and some B-roll of what we saw there. And we're going to discuss what we did that day, what we played that day. If I played something that's coming out that, you know, for instance, if I played like The Last of Us 2 or something like that, I'll give you my fucking impressions. And I think that'd be really fun to be able to give you guys that kind of information and also experience it. If I can swing it, because I'll be running with a laptop and a couple cameras. I'm going to bring a couple smaller cameras with me. I will try and do reaction videos to the E3 or EA's not even going to be there. So Xbox pretty much, and maybe a couple other people.
Well, you're going to have, Microsoft, Ubisoft.
Yep.
Bethesda might be there, I would imagine.
Maybe.
I can't remember. The only ones I know for sure that don't go is EA does their own in-house thing, Nintendo does their own in-house thing, and Sony has started doing their own in-house thing now.
Maybe I can play some fucking id games.
Maybe.
That'd be cool as shit. I'm so fucking excited.
A bunch of small medium developers. So like Sega will be there as an example, and I don't know if Devolver's actually there.
Most people will be there.
Yeah.
Just not Sony, which is the real weird one, in EA, but I don't give a fuck about that. They don't got nothing to offer me. Yeah, so my general plan is we're going to go down there. We're going to have fun. We're going to shoot a bunch of stuff. So you guys will be getting more content than normal. Like always, every time E3 rolls around for the channel, we do a lot more episodes because we want to try and cover as much as we can, and we don't get it all ever. Like a couple weeks later, we're still finding videos and shit. So yeah, expect that. That's my plan. And yeah, but with that as well, me and Chevy have been talking, and while I'm gone, we've been talking about the idea that you might do some reaction streams to the actual like press events.
Yeah.
When Microsoft does their event, and anyone else that does their event, potentially Chevy may be doing a live stream, watching those videos. You guys can come hang out with him, and he can give his impressions. So we at least at the very least have somebody from the channel covering that stuff. I will cover it at some point. If I don't get a chance to cover it from down in California, I will cover it at some point because you guys know I need to fucking get my opinion out on that shit. But I want to try and get it out as streamlined as possible. So, and then me and you will probably do a test stream at some point, doing a react video in the next month or so, just to kind of get you used to it. I'll probably have you do it, and I'll just hang out with you, and we'll do a stream. You guys can come hang out. We'll announce it on Discord or something like that whenever some reaction videos worth reacting to come out. But that's kind of the plan. So I'll be down there on the ground doing some reporting, and Chevy will be back at home covering, what we normally cover every year. So that's kind of the plan.
Though I will be working that week, so they'll be late.
Yeah, they'll be late, but they'll
Streams.
still be up.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is stream, and then they'll upload. But YouTube sucks, and it's going to be like, YouTube's great. I love YouTube. I'm sorry, YouTube. I misspoke. Don't kill me, Google. YouTube's upload on their streams kind of sucks because it takes like 24 hours. Whereas Twitch is like right after the stream's over, it's already there. You
Yeah.
just watch it right after, and the quality's better and all sorts of shit. So they'll be there though. So there's gonna be a lot of fucking videos that week. But the videos I'll be creating will probably be shorter. But I also really like to make videos, so that they might be like longer too. I don't know. It'll be fun. Give us your feedback though. What would you like to see? Is there specific games you'd like me to look for while I'm there? Obviously we don't know what will be there, but we have an idea of what some games that could be playable by now, and there'll be a lot of games there. E3 is fucking huge, and it's gonna be crazy. There's also gonna be panels and shit. I might check out some of those. I just can't go in and watch the big event. It sucks, but I understand. I'm not press. Although I saw some guy recently on YouTube who only had like 60,000 followers, and he got a press pass. So it's like, that's all I got to get to. So what I'm trying to say is, let's get us to 60,000. let's move. I'm not good at self promotion, but if it can get us into the press pass badge area, fucking let's do it. Let's move. Anything you want to say about that? The plans? Any opinions?
I mean, really, that you said pretty much everything. The only part I just kind of want to reemphasize is, obviously, we do want to do, at least I want to get a couple test streams in, even if they're short ones, just so I can familiarize myself with what I'm doing, so that when you're in California, I'm not like, what am I doing? So
When you're kind of familiar with OBS already, just because we use that to film Chris, yeah. So you're just not going to be hitting record. You're going to be hitting stream. I got my shit all set up already. You just have to make sure all the video parts are working. But it's pretty simple. You got to right click. We'll go over. I'm not going to go over.
I don't imagine it'll be too complicated.
Yeah.
I just, obviously I want to get a couple in because I'm used to just sitting on the side and hanging out through it versus actually doing it. So,
yeah.
But other than that, I mean, obviously, as we've done every year, we like to watch all the conferences. So,
I always say this, but it's E3 is the Super Bowl for me. Like I'm not really into sports, so
even though the players are leaving.
Well, temporarily. Sony didn't say that they're gone forever. They said they're going to try it out this year. Because, and we're going to talk about it, I think Xbox is going to have, if they have a good show, a huge edge on fucking Sony. Because even though you can do your shows without going to E3, E3 still has more eyes than you're going to have in that fucking show. Yeah. So you're saving a lot of money, and you're getting direct to the people, but the last State of Play by PlayStation wasn't even well received.
Yeah, but that was the first one too.
Sure, but people didn't like it.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, E3 is a spectacle. People are looking at that. If you're the only dude there, and you have something to fucking flaunt, like, you got no competition. No one can come out and counter you. Like, I mean, we'll watch this and then we'll talk about it. So, but yeah, let us know in the comments any feedback you have on how we're going to be doing E3 this year, and what are you most excited to see, and what would you like to hear me get my hands on at E3 gaming wise. I have a lot of things I want to fucking play. So the video we're going to watch, Inside Xbox, Phil Spencer on E3 2019 and the latest Xbox news. Phil Spencer is my dude. I'm excited to watch this. You ready? Mm-hmm. All right, 3, 2, 1, and go.
I'm here with Phil Spencer, head of Xbox. Phil, great to see you.
Good to see you, Larry.
Earlier in the show, we had Chris Munson on talking about Xbox Fan Fest details coming up for E3. Excited about that.
That's always a great time at E3.
I'll ask you about E3 later on in the interview, but right now I want to talk about a couple of things. We announced Game Pass Ultimate earlier in the show.
And that was
confirmed. We announced the digital Xbox One
that was also confirmed.
earlier in the show.
Looks so weird without the disc.
Yeah.
Last month we had
it's kind of sleek looking though.
xCloud. How do all of these pieces fit together in your mind?
It's a really good question. We've said for the longest time that we put the gamer at the center of how we build our strategy and our services. We don't start with the device. We don't start with us. We think about our customer and what does the customer want. And we kind of are driven by this idea that as a gamer, you should be able to play the games that you want to play on the devices you want to play them on with your friends anywhere you go. And this is all part of that strategy, that vision, that kind of goal that we have for players. You at the center playing your games wherever you want to go.
You're talking about travel. I noticed, I was reading your Twitter feed, is that you tweeted out you were over in Asia recently meeting with game developers and partners. How did that go?
I always love my time in the studios. It's kind of how I grew up at Xbox in studios. So now when I get to go out to third-party studios, I get to play games early, talk to the studios about what they're doing. This is always an interesting time because E3 is coming up. Yep. So we get an opportunity to talk about the things that we're going to focus on our stage at E3 and see if we have great content.
They had a good show last year.
No, it was a really good show.
In Korea, which were the two places I was. I'm really proud of the partnerships that we've built over the last few years. Think about some of those moments. Finally had a Kingdom Hearts on our stage last year. The Dragon Ball announces. It's been good progress with those studios. I love it now because I go over, I'm seeing friends. I'm seeing people that I see multiple times of the year, seeing their games. I think we're going to have a really great show at E3 from developers all over.
Now I have to ask you, you've been traveling a lot, but I also look and I see you're playing Destiny 2. What are you doing? What's going on there?
I'm trying to get to 700 light level, and I'm at like 650 right now. It's just driving me crazy.
No. I'm saying when you're traveling, how are you playing, Phil?
So, starting probably January, I started taking my phone and my controller with me and using our streaming xCloud technology.
So you're beta testing it?
I am alpha testing, probably. Alpha and beta testing.
But those servers
nice
were great with just him playing it.
On my floor, and the xCloud team's on this floor, so I can run down there and get new drops of the software all the time.
Right.
But it's been awesome. I found probably half of my Crackdown orbs while I'm away from home, just kind of running around using xCloud. I'm running Destiny Strikes with my friends online using xCloud. It's just a test setup, right? Yeah. This is me playing the games I like to play.
Fucking streaming, like already on a console that plays other things.
Like Xbox
makes sense.
I can see the label. It says Phil's server on it, right in the rack. I'm sure that's what it says.
But figuring out latency, like when I was in Japan, I'm sitting there playing games. I'm in a hotel, 8,000 miles away from my server, and kind of what does that feel like? Because that's not our solution. Will be with the breadth of what we have in Azure, that data centers will be close to you to minimize ping time, to minimize latency that you have. But I will say there's something magical about taking my Xbox experience with me. Like when I boot up, it is me. P3 is on, all my friends are there, all my messages are there. I don't feel like I'm disconnected. I can launch my games. I'm not having to kind of grind a separate set of characters or something. It is my state that I have when I'm sitting in my home or I'm sitting in my PC. It goes with me. And I really love that. And I think for me, I'm a product person. I have to use the product and kind of feel, what do I like? What do I not like? What's my feedback for the team? So I'm glad I'm getting to do this. And I'm really excited about the rollout that we have coming.
So this is the last episode of Inside Xbox before we hit E3 2019. How are you feeling about E3 this year?
This is going to be an interesting one. Like we're the platform holder that has a live stage show, and it's kind of just us this year.
Yeah.
I feel the responsibility of that. I want to represent gaming. Right? I think it's an important time where the kind of larger community, news and other things are looking at the gaming industry at E3. I think it's a time we kind of pop above a lot of the noise that's out there. So I think the whole team, we're taking the responsibility of being out there, representing gaming and wanting to do a good job of that.
What are you most excited about? Are you most excited about getting off stage, meeting with the fans, meeting with developers? Tell me about that.
I'm always excited about time with the fans and the community. Like coming out on stage, seeing faces in the crowd that I know. I'll get certain DMs and stuff on Xbox Live or Twitter about people just
looks
excited
just
about
like
the show. I'm
non-relaxed.
excited about
He's
what we're
always
gonna get to
relaxed
show. I'm
looking.
Yeah.
such a fan
No, he's
of
one of
the
the-
show. I am in it. I
one of the
love
good
the
ones.
fact that we're in Microsoft Theater again, and it's going to be a familiar
that
place,
asshole
but
from
also a
EA.
place that's kind of
Whatever
feels right in
Sutherland or
the
the
center
fuck
of
his
what's
name
going
was.
on.
Stiff
in
as
the
a
room,
board.
And
Yeah, he's a
definitely just
dick. He
continues
looks like a
such highlight
banker.
for me at the show.
Last year we announced, I remember you being up on stage, and behind you were all the brand new studios, and we've certainly brought a few more into the fold.
That shit's fucking
What can we
exciting.
expect
Yeah.
from Xbox Studios this time around?
Yeah, our new studios are going to have things to show, which is going to be awesome. Some new things that nobody has seen before, which will be fun. You know, if you pick one of the later studios, Obsidian had a really great time with Outer Worlds at Game Awards. Maybe we'll see some more of that. It's been nice, though, as you're starting to work with these studios, they come in. I think they're starting to see how big of a deal E3 is for a platform, and I can see them getting excited about that. It's kind of different than being an independent studio. But it's going to be exciting to see the studios. It'll take kind of years to really have them fully integrated in and kind of delivering the same way all of the teams do, because different teams are at different parts of their development cycle. But I think it's going to be just really interesting to have those teams showing up this year and starting to show what they're building for us.
As we look at the calendar, I see we're just under 2 months from E3, right?
Don't say that. That freaks me out.
I know. It's just a couple
Is
months
this what
away.
we're wearing?
Is this what you're wearing?
My Game Pass?
There you go. Got your Game Pass checker. Well, listen, I appreciate you stopping by and joining us here on Inside Xbox.
I'm excited to be on the show.
All right.
Great job with it.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you.
That was a quick 7 minutes.
That was, yeah, it felt like fucking 2. All right, so what do we think about what he said? What do you think about their presence at E3? Any speculation on what that could be, and overall thoughts?
I mean, excuse me. Overall thoughts, I mean, is pretty much just, you know, Phil Spencer is always really good about just coming off real chill and just wanting to talk about what they have to offer without coming off as like a salesman, which I really appreciate. Obviously, they are selling a product.
Sure, but he's backed the fuck off from the whole like console war talk.
Which is great.
I really like that he talks about gaming. He wasn't talking about like Xbox, which he should be. That's his brand. But he said gaming and gamers so many times in that discussion that it really feels like they're just trying to have fucking fun with this console.
Which is great. And, you know, obviously, if you've been following the channel for a while, you know that me and Seth own pretty much everything, but we do primarily play on PS4 and PC, and it's not because we don't like everything else. It's just that the options for us aren't there, and it has nothing to do with the quality of the console or even Phil Spencer, because Phil, the way he's running Xbox is great, and I hope he continues to have a very long career in it, and I really hope that them acquiring all these new studios really gets them back
I'm so
where
excited
they need
to see
to
what
be.
they fucking make.
Because at the end of the day, I want to be able to enjoy playing games, and gaming in general. And I think their approach to bringing that as many places as possible is really telling of, not just from a business standpoint, it's smart to have your product as many places as possible, but even just like in the mentality of, well, you know, we're not going to be so restrictive. We're just gonna like try to let people play our stuff more places. You even saw Nintendo kind of relax on that in the last couple years with them letting mobile games come out and stuff. So
And talking with Xbox about putting Xbox games on Switch.
So the relaxed atmosphere is really cool, and I hope it continues. Obviously, for the sake of like keeping your brand alive, as much as people hate exclusives, they're kind of necessary.
Yeah, 100%.
But the idea of a more shared ecosystem is really cool, and I'm excited to see what they have to talk about in that regard, because like he said, he's kind of alpha testing that, and it seems really neat. I mean, I don't travel nearly as
cloud.
yeah.
Thing you're talking? Yeah.
I don't travel nearly as much as this guy, obviously, but I do go 1 to 2 trips a year, and being able to just play my game on my phone, that sounds amazing to me.
Well, it's one of the biggest benefits of the Switch is it's just a genius console that allows you to have a home console and a portable console.
And with that service coming to Switch, I got both with me then, and it's a great idea. So,
well, I'm just saying everyone's going to be kind of doing what the Switch does here soon, because you're going to be able to play. I'm sure at some point down the road, Sony will do the same thing, having servers where you can play your games anywhere on your phone. It makes complete sense.
It does.
They don't have to make portable consoles anymore at that point then. So, it's just cool to hear him talk about it, because, you know, it makes it real and tangible. He's beta testing it. That'd be a great way to beta test something when you're like the boss. Yeah. Because then your feedback is actually like heard 100%. So,
well, especially if he's actually like, as long as that was all real.
Yeah.
which I believe
I
him.
give like an 85% to 90% chance that that's all like completely true.
But I'm sure he is testing it while he's on the road.
Yeah.
That guy is probably not in one place for very long. So,
no, he'd be very busy.
yeah. So this kind of stuff makes sense, especially for someone like him. As far as like the E3 thing goes, the last 2 years they've had really good shows. Last year's was really good.
They had a great show.
Yeah.
Them and Ubisoft.
And I see that continuing because I'm sure they took that feedback and they're really going to push forward. I think, and you've said this before, and I'm just going to kind of echo it. I think we're going to see Microsoft start just coming out stronger and stronger each year at this point.
I think the acquisition of those companies was them prepare. Like some people were like, "Oh, they're back, they're ready," blah blah blah. I'm like, not quite yet, but they're preparing for like an assault essentially.
And when he just said too, it's going to take years
Yeah.
for them to fully integrate into a development cycle.
Because
Because
they bought a bunch of fucking companies
Shitload.
and all really good ones. Anything Ninja Theory makes is going to be fucking great, and they own that now.
Yep.
It's gonna be really cool to see what they're working on too. Because like he was saying, like even with the development, I forgot which one of them, but one of the companies they bought was already developing something that's going to come out on everything. I think it might be Obsidian. I think Outer Worlds coming out on everything. But I think after that, they will be a strictly Xbox development. That's kind of what he was hinting towards when he said they're all in different places development-wise.
Right.
But for them to show off something, to show that they are working on things, it's really exciting because that's one thing that I kind of, miss from Xbox. I want to see them go like, we got this game coming out. You can't fucking play this anywhere else except for Xbox. And when Sea of Thieves was first shown off, I was like, "Holy shit! I can't wait to fucking play that."
Yeah, and it's a cool game, but it's missing some meat to it.
Well, they've had a bunch of shit. We got to return to it at some point.
For sure. But when we played it, it was
Yeah.
kind of shallow at the time, which was a bummer because it was actually fun to play. So
And I fucking love Forza Horizon 3 and 4. They're like some of the best, if not the best, arcade races I've ever played. So
for sure, there's a lot of content there, too.
Playground Studios, where the fuck that makes that. They're really fucking talented.
As far as their E3 stuff, he said it. They're the only console.
I also actually feel bad for them. I feel it sounds so lonely.
Well, yeah, they're the only ones there now.
Every year, just going to E3 up against fucking Sony, and then this year they're just like, well, it's just us.
The plus side of that is they have the spotlight now. 100%
That's what I'm saying, dude.
of
That's what
the
I'm saying.
spotlight,
and it's
so
a lot of people watching.
And if they got a large announcement, this is the time to do it.
Yeah.
So
well, people are saying like we might see the next Xbox, and he even said in a thing I was reading they don't know how much they want to show. He says they got a lot of shit to show, and he's all about transparency. But other people he's talking with are going, maybe we should hold back on some of those announcements.
Yeah,
I think he's alluding that he wants to show off the next Xbox, the Project Scarlet or whatever, which would be huge because Sony just came out and went like, yeah, it's real. This is what's in it
during a random interview
out of nowhere, and we're just like, oh, okay, that's cool. But if fucking Xbox came out and showed the fucker off, it'd be,
or at least a proof of concept.
They'd win E3. They don't got competition.
They're gonna win anyways. They don't have competition.
That's what I'm saying. Like unless they have a shit showing, Xbox already won E3.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, Ubisoft will probably do great too, and I hope Beyond Good and Evil 2's there.
That'd be cool.
So
you might
fucking
get to
cool.
play that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't. That's such a. I'm so stoked for that game.
The only thing that's going to be kind of weird about Ubisoft is like, and I always enjoy their presentation, but I always hate reading the comments because people are always like, "Oh, that's so cringy! Oh, that's so cringy all the time." Like they're having fun, man.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's fucking fun.
Whatever.
It doesn't have to be super serious.
Always got to fucking shit on people's parades.
Yeah. I mean, there. I think that's a reflection of old E3s where you got the kids coming out pretending to play a video game that they're not actually playing.
Yeah, well, and that's awful.
And they're like, haha, hey,
Yeah.
hey, throw me the ball. And they're like, I'm going to throw you the ball. They're like, okay, throw me the ball. And they're like, I'm going to do it. And they're like, oh, and they're like, woo. And it's just like, oh my God. Or like
20-minute concerts.
Or people playing Rock Band together, and it's just a bunch of fucking assholes, and they're just like rocking out shit with their plastic guitars. And we're like, we get it. We like Rock Band. Like, I want to play it, but like, you guys aren't selling it. This is just really hard to watch.
Yeah.
Or like the Fake Family. Some guy comes like, hey, Billy, fucking grab me the controller. The kid's like, okay, Dad. I'm like, oh my God. We don't really get that anymore, though.
Yeah.
So I think people are just looking for the cringe. So when they see that dope ass panda fucking dancing around, I loved that thing. People are like, "Oh my god, what was up with that?" I don't know. I liked
You know
it.
what Just Dance is?
Yeah, they were having a blast like with that. I thought it was awesome. They had the cool little like, and well, it's not even saying, but like Sony had the Last of Us little tent thing they set up, and that was fucking neat. It's very intimate, very romantic, which was kind of odd. But without talking about all that, like I'm excited to see what Xbox brings, and now that they have center stage to themselves, pretty much, if they have a big show, they're gonna be the talk of the town. Sony's gonna put out a Nintendo Direct and fucking
Hopefully.
and show off some stuff, and it will be very exciting, especially because I know The Last of Us just wrapped on all the recording of acting. So they'll probably have plenty to show here soon. But there's the spectacle of E3 is still important. People still question, is E3 relevant? Is it needed? It is relevant. It's not needed, but it is a celebration. That's the thing I love about E3 is it's a celebration of gaming. It used to be just the convention that showed off the games to the press, but it's evolved into just this big celebration of gaming. It's still the biggest convention when it comes to games out there. If you have a presence there, it's where you spend the money to really, because even Phil Spencer, when I was reading further into an interview he did on a podcast, he was saying, like, do we want to save a little bit of money? Do we want to spend a little bit? Do we want to spend a lot of money? He's like, we're going to go as big as we ever do. Like, we're not going to cut back at all. So they're going to do it big, and they got a lot of announcements. And I'm really curious to see what they bring because, like I said, they're by themselves. If they want to make a big fucking presence and just kind of, like, show people that, like, Xbox is here to fucking play. We got a lot of cool shit coming. And if they show off a new Xbox... Mm-hmm. It's gonna be fucking gigantic.
I really hope. I really hope in the future that Sony and I dare even say Nintendo, even though I don't see that happening.
No one speaks.
Do decide to come back to it because, like you said, it is a celebration, and it is kind of a bummer. And I get it. Like financially, it makes sense not to do these events when you can just kind of stream a bunch of stuff to people. And last year, Sony's event, though the beginning of it was cool, was literally just rapid fire videos.
It wasn't that great of a, it was pretty much what they wanted to do now.
Yeah.
Except for at E3.
And they really cut back on the financial aspect.
I think it hurt the fucking presentation.
For sure.
Of last year.
Too.
So
I think there's something, obviously very fun about watching these guys get out there and just like make a show out of it. Because at the end of the day, we can go on YouTube or any your video platform and watch trailers for games as they release. We can do that all day long, right?
Yeah.
But when you have one place where you get this guy who comes out or multiple people come out and they're exuding their excitement for the product thing that they've been working on for the last 2 to 6 years or whatever, and they want to show that to you, it's more involved, it's more intimate.
It's a spectacle and it's direct communication with the community in a shared environment of gaming. That's what I love about it, is like knowing that Sony and Microsoft and other companies are all in the same building preparing these presentations. There's like this communal thing of gaming, and whatever you fall under brand wise, console wise, whatever company makes these games or whatever, there's something there that's going to be big and announced and celebrated. And it's just like it's literally, like I said, it's like a celebration.
We're all there for the same reason.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's this really cool like gaming community thing, and I honestly hope that Sony will come back next year because they said this year they're just trying it out. If Xbox makes a huge splash at E3, I think Sony will come back. They're looking at what Nintendo does, and Nintendo has this like fun, family friendly, like intimate relationship with its community, and I think they pull off the Nintendo Direct great because they're kind of fun to watch and stuff, and they're direct. They're often, and inside Xbox they do their thing. Sony does their thing with State of Play, but I would really like to see Sony have a bigger presence when it comes to presentations again, because even last year at E3 I thought it was kind of lackluster. There's some cool stuff they showed, but it was very tame compared to Xbox.
Agreed. I think I'd have to go back and watch the episode because I don't remember our conversation on it, but I think we said Microsoft, and I think it was Ubisoft probably had the best
Yeah, 100%.
conferences last year. So
Yeah, I think we graded Xbox like an A- or some shit.
I remember enjoying it completely.
Yeah.
And once again, going back to the fact that we're not necessarily the biggest like Xbox players, they still had the best show.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it was a blast.
it doesn't matter that like I don't turn mine on as much as I'd like. It is literally they brought it, they killed it. It was a blast to watch. They showed off a bunch of stuff and they had fun, and that translated through the screen. So,
Yeah, it gets you excited to be a gamer and play video games and be excited for even other people who might be in a game more than you are. Like when I see Gears of War, something like that, I'm not a big fan of that, but when they show that off in some big spectacle way, I'm like, that's awesome.
yeah, for
Hearing
sure.
those cheers and shit, like that's just like, it's like one of it's one of the only times in gaming that there's like a shared communal like happiness with gaming, that people aren't just, you know, talking shit to each other. So
For sure.
but yeah, that was a really cool Inside Xbox that went by really quick. I always like watching Phil Spencer. He seems legit and real, which is nice. And yeah, I can't wait to go to E3, but also find out all the shit they're going to show off and everybody else. Anything else you want to say on that?
Soon.
It's coming up soon. Not soon enough though. I can't wait. I fucking can't wait. Yeah, let us know in the comments though. What do you think about first off, E3 2019? What do you want to see there? What are you hoping to see? I just said that. What do you think about what Phil Spencer said about E3? What do you think about Xbox's presence at E3? What would you like to see from them? Are you hoping to see the new Xbox? Anything you're hoping to see from the new Xbox if it is shown? And yeah, just give me your overall thoughts about E3 2019. But that's going to do it for this episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Luke Gaming. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Enjoy this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook at Tasty Luke Gaming. Check out my streams on Twitch at Tasty Senpai. All one word. Hit the notification button to know when I go live. And when I stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So you can pick your poison and watch me wherever the hell you want. We have Discord link down below. Talk to us anytime, all the time. And we are on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms if you'd prefer to listen to us. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
Until the next episode, which will be something soon. Until then, have a great week, guys, and take it easy.